banners and posters saying
CNN?
It's time to escalate.
Wait 1 second, John. Hold on.
Yeah,
I want to. Jason, what's going on? I hear you. Am I seeing Jason Carroll being? What?
Today, we will discuss Trump's political crises, his attempts to suppress protests, and the incredible contradictions in American law. The man is still trying to show off his power, silencing the press and disregarding the Constitution. Where do you think this is heading? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the truth is being discussed here.
Especially this week.
And we're also seeing the difference between the advisors he had in the White House the first time and the people he has now. He obviously had a White House counsel in his first presidency who was telling him, no, it's illegal. You cannot just send in the National Guard. The governor has to request it. And now he has people telling him whatever he wants to hear, whenever he wants to hear it.
Yeah, I think that if we can intuit what he's being told, I think based on the pattern of his actions, we can probably intuit that what he's being told is, yeah, it's illegal, therefore go do it. I mean, I think that the more laws he breaks, the more blatantly unconstitutional things he both proposes and tries, I think the more they think power accrues to him because he's less constrained by things that don't actually stop him. And so ultimately, I mean, the courts are pushing him back. Congress, to a certain extent, is pushing him back a little bit, although I think a little bit more than they're given credit for. But mostly it's the people pushing him back. He's deeply, deeply, deeply unpopular and underwater on every issue. And he is absolutely panicked by the protests against him, to the point where he's already playing the biggest cards that he's got, and he's not even 6 months into this term. I just think we're getting the test really early, and I think that he's failing.
By the way, one of the important things that Mayor Bass brought out when you were talking to her about what's happening in Los Angeles tonight, and you know this, but just how isolated and tiny a spot of Los Angeles we're talking about. Downtown Los Angeles, where in the areas where these office buildings are, very few people live anywhere near that. It's not a residential area. Most people living in Los Angeles, most Los Angeles local taxpayers never set foot in that part of Los Angeles. You can easily live a life there and never see it. And so it is this really isolated little spot that doesn't in any way.
So here we go again, right? Trump and his obsession with showing off his power. The man literally thinks, if you oppose me, I'll roll out the tanks. First of all, during his first term as president, there were at least a few adults around him who would say, Mr. President, you can't do that because there's something called the Constitution. Now, all he has around him are yes men who say, yes, sir, that's a great idea, sir. Let's drop the bomb right away, sir. Think about it. While his previous legal advisors would say, you can't just send the National Guard wherever you want, his current ones are like, go ahead and send them, Mr. President. Who cares about the law anyway? What a regression. And the truly ironic, or rather tragicomic part is this. Trump's actions are entirely panic-driven. He's afraid of protests. He's afraid of the people. He's terrified of losing votes. And the solution? Bring in the tanks. Because the classic Trump mindset is, the tougher I look, the stronger I am.
And posters saying
CNN?
It's time to escalate.
Wait 1 second, John. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jason.
Yep.
What's going on? I hear you. Am I seeing Jason Carroll being? What happened, Jason?
I am being detained. I am being detained, Laura. I'm not being arrested. Correct, officers?
Did you hear what he told you?
No.
We're letting you go, but you can't come back.
Okay.
Because then if you come back, then you go.
Okay.
Okay, please?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Take care. You too. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
What happened, Jason?
If you guys can still hear me, what happened was yes.
I'm Chris with the New York Times. We got video of you guys.
Oh, you did?
If you need it later,
thank you.
call New York Times.
I appreciate that.
I can hear you still, Jason. What's happening?
So here's what happened, Laura. The officer, I was called over, and the officer told me to put my hands behind my back. I said, am I being arrested? He said, you were being detained. I was walked out of the area. They took down my information.
Oh, I'm losing his IFB right now. I can't hear you, Jason. Wait, John.
Here we are, folks. American democracy in the 2020s. A CNN reporter is being arrested live on air, and we are watching it unfold. And as I sip my coffee, I ask myself, is this real? Hold on a second. CNN reporter Jason Carroll is being detained by the police while on air. It wasn't an arrest, but they did say, "Come here." Is this polite fascism? "Come on in, officer. Would you like some tea?" It sounds like a joke, but it's not. This is an attempt to silence the press. Period. For Trump supporters, free press is limited to Fox News, which only praises him. The rest, either fake news or the enemy. And look, this isn't just a journalist. This is a witness who was reporting the truth at that moment. Someone who connects with the public through images, a microphone, and the people. They're trying to silence him, because that's how authoritarian regimes begin. First, you silence those who speak the truth. Then everyone stays silent. But sorry, Trump, we won't stay silent. The
president told reporters earlier that if he were you, he would have the governor of California arrested. Can you just clarify where that stands and if that is something that you personally are advocating for?
No, like I did an interview yesterday with NBC reporter here's the conversation was, as you and I talked about many times, you can protest if you want. You have that First Amendment right. But when you cross the line of putting your hands on an ICE officer, impeding our enforcement operations, knowingly harboring, concealing illegal alien, that's a crime. And I said last night, if they can protest all they want, when they cross that line, we'll seek prosecution. And last count, we have just about 50 protesters who've been arrested, currently being prosecuted for violating the law. And when I reported asked me, would that include politicians like Mayor Bass or Governor Newsom? I said, well, of course. It includes anybody that commits a crime.
But Governor Newsom has not done anything to warrant an arrest in your view right now, correct?
I don't see him.
So, is this really still America? The president stands up and says, if I were in your shoes, I would have the governor of California arrested. Arrested. For what crime, sir? For being governor? For criticizing the federal government's nonsense? For listening to protests? What is this? A Middle Eastern dictatorship? Now, Trump's mindset is simple. If you're against me, you're guilty. Checks and balances? To him, they're just annoying details. Look, this man is trying to run the government like a mafia boss. Threaten, silence, intimidate. But apparently, there's still a bit of the Constitution left in us, because the official says, there's no reason to arrest Governor Newsom. Thanks, Sherlock. If it weren't so obvious, we'd have to be afraid. But this incident shows how far Trump's obsession with power has gone. I don't care about the law, just as long as you obey me.
Defending the right for the American people to peacefully assemble. And we'll continue to encourage people to exercise that right peacefully. And if anyone crosses the line, they should be held accountable by the relevant authorities. We will not be lectured by Donald Trump and anyone in the Republican Party about issues of law and order. Not a single one of them. Donald Trump promised to lower costs on day one. Costs haven't gone down, they're going up. Inflation is going up. Donald Trump lied to the American people. You know what he did do on day one? He pardoned hundreds of violent felons, criminals, who brutally assaulted police officers and attacked the Capitol on January 6th. That's what Donald Trump did on day one. The hostages weren't released on day one like he promised. He lied.
Look, this is important, my friends, because this is no longer just a Trump story. This is the story of the systematic trampling of the truth. The man who says, law and order. The same Trump who said, we love you, to those who stormed the Capitol. We're talking about the same man. Now he's come out and called Americans exercising their constitutional right to protest lawless. Come on. The truth is, Trump pardoned his own militants, his own militias, the ones who beat up police officers, the ones who punched democracy in the face. And he did it on day one. But when they see the price tag on milk at the grocery store, They're still whining. But Biden inflation. Brother, wasn't Trump supposed to lower prices? What happened? The only thing that's fallen is their sense of reality. And now this man is dragging the country into even more chaos to cover up his own failures, because he thinks that if he changes the agenda, his crimes will be overshadowed. But no such luck. We saw you. We haven't forgotten.